know my name is Joanne Jackson. I live in a new building because of that lady right there, Miss Linda. My sister passed June 20th, and I was going to be homeless. Because I don't get enough money to support myself. I go to the pantry because of Miss Linda in this center. And I thank all of y'all for being here today. To hear me, thank all of you. And I praise the Lord day and night. I remember Richard, when I was over there at a house, I was going to be homeless. Miss Linda said, come in and fill out an application. They had a new building. I'm in that building. Because of Miss Linda and the senior center. I go to the pantry. My food is on the table when I get ready because the pantry. Because of Miss Linda, because of all of you that care about people. If you don't care about people, then you don't care about God.
That's right. That's right.
And if you don't care about God, you don't care about yourself.
Amen.
I didn't come to preach. But I thank all of you. I thank God. We go to prayer meeting. I bring in my printouts and I pass them out.
That's right.
And it's gospel. And we share each other's problems.
That's right.
And they tell me, can you pray for me?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be coming here if it wasn't for my sister. I said, Joanne, you in that room with the gospel on TV for 24 hours. Come on out of that bedroom. Come on to the center.
Absolutely.
I said, no.
That's right.
I'm going to stay in my building. I said, at the end of the same way, I'm about to go there. But Miss Linda and the mayor, I thank y'all. Thank you, Richard, for coming to the house and speaking with us about my sister. I appreciate it. I love people. I love God. And if you don't love, like I think you don't love God, you don't love this. You better wake up and just watch that.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, if you don't know what I'm talking about, people are passing away. My sister was here 1 minute,
Yeah.
gone the next.
That's right.
Yeah.
She was 69 years old. I'm 65.
Yeah.
I praise the Lord day and night. Miss Linda and all was at the funeral
Amen.
because of the bus. And I thank all of y'all for coming to the funeral. She's been a support. I couldn't read that good before I got saved. God been teaching me. Wake up, take a watch. Because that watch, you might be here today and might be gone tomorrow.
That's right. That's right.
So take a watch. This senior citizen, this center means a lot to us. And the pantry. Like I said, I wouldn't have my cabinet with me like it is now if there was not a pantry. So, gotta keep it in. Thank you, Lord.
Thank you.
I live at 5134 Cater Street for the last 55 years. I've been married 66 years. I'm 88 years old. My husband is 89, and my husband was born here in Maple Heights, in the school in Maple Heights. His name is in the honor roll at the city hall, and in front of the city hall. This is my second home. I've been coming here for 26 years.
Wow.
Just as much probably as Linda. Linda can. This without this, I have nothing. I lost 4 children. We have no children. So this is a second home to me. And I can't even imagine people not helping to leave this place open. I know there's a few couple that don't think so, but please keep this place open. Linda sacrificed so much. You cut down so many people in here. The driver, the people upstairs, there's 2 people upstairs, her and Jamie. I don't know how they are able to do all the work they are doing. is incredible. Everything has been said. It's not just the food. It's the rest of it that is so important. I'm old. I mean, maybe here to next year I may not be here. My husband is here. So this is important. A year and a half ago, I had a car accident. A person just went through the red light and hit us. I had a mild concussion, broken ribs, and I was in the emergency room. Linda showed up and see how we were doing. If we needed anything, she took us home. Our car was total. Anything is they all said, you know, it's all the stuff that she does for us beside the food. The food is important, that because some people, that's the main meal of the day and that's it. So if they don't eat here, sometimes they won't eat, period. And if you close the pantry, that's the end of that too. Oh, I wish I can express better what I feel. I really wish. And I could do a better job. Because so much they do. For instance, as she mentioned, all the paper and forms that they send us, the Medicare and this and that, we get inundated about the gas bill, choose this, choose that, choose the other thing.
Right.
Thanks to Linda, she take care of, you know, she helped me out, and she showed us what to do, what not to do, and I don't know what we will do without this place, really. I know there's a couple of you that don't think so, but please, please keep this place open. Thank you.
Annette Blackwell, 15357 Longdale Avenue. I'm not a senior, so I'm not going to talk about the senior center, but I heard everyone here. And my dad was, he's at Walton Manor Nursing Home, so I understand, but for the little time he was with me, he came to the senior center. But what I'm here to say is I just want to change the tone a little bit, and I'm going to address the seniors very quickly because I know the comments have been lengthy, so I won't be as lengthy. I want to thank the council persons and the mayor who helped me open a business in Maple Heights. Just a positive, we opened a business in Maple Heights where my husband and I bought the former AmVets Post 80 Center on Broadway. And it's a multi-purpose and event center. The escrow is a difficult thing to do. I understand that. I called the mayor a couple of times. But we were committed to opening a business in the city. Because I believe in this city. I've been in this city about 20-some years. Both of my children, both of my sons graduated, and my daughter is at Maple Heights High. I was late today because she was being inducted to the National Honor Society.
All right.
So,
Right.
well, what I'm going to say, the last one, and all of them have graduated from Maple Heights. All of them have been in the honors program. It's a great school. It's a great city. I believe in this city. What I want to say to Linda Vopak, who was responsible for my first rental, someone came to City Hall, or came to the Senior Center, and said they wanted to have a surprise birthday party for her husband. And Edwina Agee, I understand, has our center in her newsletter. Thank you. Just thank you. And Richard, I've been talking to you every day. For a year, we've been trying to get this. It's a difficult process. But if you stick with it, you can do anything in this city. Just got to find out how to do it and who to reach out to. There's no one in this council that I reached out to that didn't help me. They made it happen. I live in Maple. My children go to school in Maple. I own a business in Maple. There is some good things in this city. You just have to find the right people. There's some good people up here. Mm-hmm. There are some hurdles you have to jump. I jumped them all. Mm-hmm. And for that, we're open. And for Alex Adams, who's my council person, and Edwina Agee, who was at my grand opening, it meant a lot to people that were not at Maple to say, your council people come to your grand opening? Your council people do this? Yes, they do. We have those kind of leaders. I could email her and ask, what's with this escrow? Help me through this. Because I sense some frustration. What can I do to help? I hear the negative stuff. I read the negative stuff. I hear people say, why don't you move out of Maple? Why don't you just move? Yes, I've lost 50% of my home value too. It sucks. But there's a reappraisal next year in Padua County, a property tax professional. Values are going up. It's like anything else, buy and hold, but we have to invest. But I want to just say, as I take my seat, Linda, because of you, I had a first rental. Letty gave her husband a surprise birthday party. They would have never known about our business had you not done that. So what I want to say to you, I was so dismayed to hear about the senior center and what's happening. Until this thing works out, First Place, which is right across the street, is open. You can use it. Do whatever you want to do there until you work this out.
Amen. That's not a solution.
Yes.
My name is Stephen F. Vassis. I live on 14115 Kennerdown Avenue. And I am also interested and concerned about the senior center. I am concerned because, for one thing, I have to say that without having included a budget for the senior center in the funding for this city so far, it is of great concern. I would like to have that happen. With that in mind, and with the fact that the senior center seems to be in dire straits, I would like to propose this game to you, everyone on this council and mayor himself, and I would try to say, truth or dare, ladies and gentlemen, who is telling the truth and who is not? Now, is it true? And I would like it to be said and answered. Is it true that the mayor has already decided about the senior center already? Is it true that the council is incompetent enough to be able to work out a financial program that would be of a great benefit to the city of Maple Heights? And I would like also to know that if and when we get all the funding put together in a package, that it's going to be discussed before any decisions are made. And I would like to ask this question and bring it off to you all, gentlemen, ladies, that you, when you do, if possibly, decide that you close the senior center, and God forbid that happens, I would like to know, because it's been proposed to me by someone, that if the senior center does close, that it could be picked up by a business to run it, or by a church to run it. And I would like, if that's the case, and you come up with a scenario like that, I would like you to convince the people of Maple Heights that such a thing would be of benefit to the senior center, to the seniors, to the city. I would like to know also too, ladies and gentlemen, since I have read that a vacant property or on my street has been picked up, I would like to know what is going to happen with the other vacant property, because there are 2 vacant properties on my street. Now, I think it is great to have the city interested in vacant properties on my street, but I also would like to think, and considering that a young lady would like to have a house built, that it would be a nice idea to have maybe a new house built or 2. And if a business is to be built on my street, okay, fine and dandy, great. But I want you to know that as far as this goes, I want to be sure of you that things on 141st Street are running just like they were before because of cameras. And I want you also to know, ladies and gentlemen, that this election, I detected the sense that some people who did actually vote, picked and choose what they wanted to vote on, whether it was an issue or a person. And I want to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that according to the Constitution, my understanding, and this is going to conclude my words, that is illegal. I don't practice it, and I don't think anybody else should. And if all the people who could vote voted at this election and every election, we would have no problem whatsoever knowing what the people are thinking. And I hope these provisional ballots will bring a better picture for my center, because my center is valued by me. Because if it wasn't for this center, my life wouldn't be as qualifiedly better now than it was at the time when I came here the first time. And AARP comes here and does my taxes, and I appreciate that every single year. So ladies and gentlemen, think about that. Truth or dare?
Good morning. Good evening, everyone. George Griffin, 6280 Dunham Road. Pretty packed house we have here today. People are expressing some of their feelings. And I hope the council takes that into consideration of how important it is for seniors to have a place to go. We're at war right now with economics, not with each other. Sometimes we get confused about that. And for those that have been in the services, when you are at war, your buddy gets shot, you don't leave him lay there and say, I'm sorry, I got to take off and run. They call, they kind of call that desertion. But we don't want to do that with our seniors either. Seniors have a lot of wisdom. You can't give wisdom away. Try to tell that to a teenager. You can't sell it at the store, look for it on a shelf at Kmart. You wind up taking it with you. But if you're smart enough to watch, keep your ears open, and your eyes sharp, you might be able to pick up a few things from the older people and get some of that wisdom. Character, someone had mentioned character. What is character? Maybe that might be the way we treat our young people and our old people. When we are at war, we don't say women and children to the front line first. Seniors, you're older, so go up there and take some of the shrapnel. Try to protect them. That's what we go to war for. So why is it any different at this point right now? I know council has the power to allocate funds to keep these people's lives to the quality that they are. When I first came into this community, I bought a house next to me because my father had Alzheimer's. He didn't last long. It's been gone about 17 years. But at that time, this community in the center offered an Alzheimer's program to help you give some support and idea of this devastating disease. And ever since then, I've heard nothing but good things. I don't understand why we would want to devow the essence of what community means. Devow character. I really don't have to say much more. I just wanted to express and reiterate on everybody else's, the older people here. I am able to come here, but I'm not in need to come here as of yet. I don't plan on going anywhere, and when I come to that age, I will be here. And I will really look and watch and see how everyone votes. And I hope they vote in that aspect to keep the community in which I live in with some character. Thanks. Enjoy your evening.
We can move on to the legislation.
Resolution number 2014-76, a resolution authorizing the mayor to accept an amendment to the contract with Municipal Building Inspection Solutions, LLC, to provide building inspection and related services to the city of Maple Heights and declaring an emergency.
May I have a motion to suspend the rules and place this resolution on its third and final reading?
So,
Second, please.
second.
Is there any discussion? Call the roll to suspend, please.
Jones.
Yes.
Sefrati.
Yes.
Jackson.
Yes.
Brownlee.
No.
Serjansky.
Yes.
A.G.
Yes.
Adams.
Yes.
May I have a motion for adoption?
So, second.
Is there any further discussion? Call the roll for adoption, please.
Jones.
Yes.
Sefrati. Jackson.
Yes.
Brownlee.
Yes.
Serjansky.
Yes.
A.G.
Yes.
Adams.
Yes.
Ordinance number 2014-84 was withdrawn. Ordinance number 2014-86, an ordinance amending ordinance number 2014-27 to make supplemental and final appropriations for current expenses and expenditures of the City of Maple Heights for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2014, and declaring an emergency.
This ordinance is on its first reading.
Ordinance number 2014-87, an ordinance to make temporary appropriations for current expenditures of the City of Maple Heights for the fiscal year ending March 31st, 2015, and declaring an emergency.
This ordinance is also on its first reading. Would you turn to your expenditures over $1,000, 2014-103? Any comments or questions? May I have a motion, please? Second?
Second.
Thank you. Would you please call the roll?
Jones?
Yes.
Safari? Jackson?
Yes.
Brownlee?
Yes.
Turjansky?
Yes.
Agee?
Yes.
Adams?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you, Council. Mayor's report, please.
Thank you, Madam President. I'd like to begin this evening by thanking an old friend. I shouldn't use that word old, but Bob Dober, you are my old friend, probably my oldest friend in this room.
I hope so.
You are, because in 1987, this man, and he is a good man, when I was running for councilman of District 7 for the very first time, pulled me aside and gave me all kinds of advice. Good, sound advice, political advice, and just common sense advice, because what you do not know, maybe some of you, that he is a sitting school board member, but he also is a former member of this body right here for many years. And he put me on a good road, and I'm sure I owe something along the way that I wouldn't have sat here all the years that I have, whether it was as a councilman, a council president, or even as mayor, if you hadn't taken me on the side. I mean, I was 27 years old. What did I know? You know, people, when I went door to door, they laughed at me. They're probably still laughing at me. I know I had a lot more hair when I started running before I started running for political office, and it was not as gray, but I think that comes with the job and the territory.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
You're welcome. You know, I heard a lot of the feedback. The negative feedback is very disturbing. You know, we're all adults. You know, we don't need to call each other names or to make threats. I mean, I could tell you, I don't know, and I've said this before with what happened in this last election cycle, but the things that have been written on social media about each and every one of us, whether you're elected or appointed, whether you're on the planning commission or you're a chief here, we've all been called thieving, lying, cheating, corrupt. The things in the letters that I've received, the hate mail, profanity-laced, anonymous hate mail, comes almost every week. The phone calls, the profanity in the phone calls, the threats. I mean, I could tape record them, bring them here, play them for you. I could bring these letters here and read them to you. You would be shocked that adults could act this way. You would be shocked, as I am. A couple of misconceptions this evening. You know, we do apply for grants.
Yeah.
We do. In fact, we just got one today for the senior center. What was it, $32,000? $32,000. And that's on top of the $100,000 grant the center gets for the meals and the trips and the rides and the vans. I received word from the city engineer that we were successful in getting the block grant for the Libby Road resurfacing project. That will count as our match. All of the handicap ramps will be put in at every intersection from Northfield Road all the way to Lee Road, and the entire road will then be resurfaced through a grant, again, through ODOT and Issue 1. So we do get grants. That's nothing new to us. We've been getting grants. This city, since I've been mayor, has taken in close to 15 million, maybe more, in grants through state, federal, county grants. Nothing new there. You know, the comment about abandoned, vacant, foreclosed homes. I mean, let's clear that up once and for all. Does anyone know, everyone know, or does anyone not know what an urban miner is? Because if you don't know, I'm about to tell you. An urban miner is someone who is a person who breaks the law. Person or people. They break into foreclosed or vacant or abandoned homes. They steal all the copper plumbing, they rip out all the wiring, they take the furnace, they take the air conditioner, anything of value they take. They didn't leave that house. They leave it empty. Now, in some cases, the gas could be running, the water could be running, which leads to a house blowing up, which we've had in the past, which also leads to a lot of water damage and weather like this when it gets down to 18, 12 degrees overnight. You cannot fix a house that an urban miner has been through unless you have buku bucks. And the investors that are coming into Maple Heights are targeting certain houses. And the ones that have been sitting for many years that the urban miners have been through time and again are the ones they do not want. And that leaves them to us. Now, yes, we did receive about $250,000 when Barack Obama was elected president. I've said this before also, which we used to tear down homes. It was called shovel-ready projects. We all remember that. We tore down about 120 homes. We have 12,500 homes. What's 120? Not much. Not much. The worst of the worst were torn down. And it wasn't me or someone up here who decided who tore those houses down. These were experts, people who administer the grant money and the program. People from the county and the state. They come in and they abate these houses. Do you know what abatement means? It means they go through those houses and they abate all the asbestos. If these houses have a price tag of 60% or more in repairs, they tear them down. That's the unwritten rule in contracting. If you have to spend more than 60% to make repairs, you're better off leveling the ground and starting all over. Now, even Alan Greenspan and Ben Bernanke in Washington said, we have too many vacant houses in America. Burn them or tear them down. Jim Rokakis, who is a lot smarter than anyone in this room, including myself, and I'm sorry, Tony Jones, he's been doing this a long time, has said a vacant home, an abandoned home on a street, a foreclosed home, is like a cancerous tumor. It needs to be cut out and taken away. Why? So it stabilizes the property values of the remaining homes on the street or in the neighborhood. That's a fact. You can shake your head in disbelief. That's a fact. A house that has less than $17,000, $15,000, $10,000 brings everybody's value down. Everybody, on every street in every neighborhood in this city. And we're not the only city that's going through this. You know, I talk to other mayors, Euclid, South Euclid, Garfield Heights, Bedford Heights. We all have the same problem with vacant homes. People are underwater in their mortgages. They're not making it. Nobody wants new taxes. I guarantee you that. Every city, when you put these ballot issues up, even in Chagrin Falls, where they have a lot of money and millionaires live there, they voted their levy down. North Royalton voted their levy down. Garfield Heights voted their levy down. Because people don't want new taxes. They're financially stressed or strapped. Let's face it, everybody is. If you have violations, and no, this is the other thing I learned a lot about violations. You have to fix them. I get calls all the time, people who want to argue their point that it's not so bad. This isn't bad. Why do I have to paint this? Why do I have to scrape that? You know, the law is the law. These are state laws too. State laws, not just city laws, state laws. The state building code, which every community in the entire state of Ohio, whether you're a village, a township, or a city, has to adhere to. If you have violations, you have to fix them. When I bought my home, in fact, both the homes that I've owned in Maple Heights, all the violations had to be fixed before the house would transfer and I moved in. Anyone who lives here, who owns a home, you move in a home, it's got to be violation-free. There's only two ways that that could happen. Either the seller fixes the violations, or the buyer somebody puts money in escrow, the seller does, and they get fixed. That's the way it has to happen. That's the law. We all have to adhere to the law. I don't think anyone here would argue that we're above the law. But we don't want to fix these things because why? They cost us money. And our property values, yes, they did go down. Again, everyone who is here tonight who owns a home saw your property value go down. The good news is they have been inching back up. They have. And next year there is a reappraisal. And I'm pretty confident, and I think most of us are, that you're gonna see they're gonna go up again. It's gonna take some time. It's not gonna happen overnight or in a year or 2 years. It's gonna take some time. But I can tell you there's a reason why the county put out this $50 million in bond money to tear these homes down. Because they're bringing down everybody's property values in every city in Cuyahoga County, including and especially Cleveland. That's why they came up with a plan, $50 million, and everyone's got their list and they're ready to go. We have vacant homes, and there's some out there that can be saved. There are people looking at them and that are going to buy them and fix them up. That happens. It does happen. Happens in all of our neighborhoods. But there's some out there that just are beyond repair. They're beyond restoration, and they need to come down. We have squatters in homes. That's pretty common in apartment buildings, in homes. We have the urban miner problem. We have problems with people coming in and committing crimes in these homes, whether it's drugs or other things. These homes need to come down. And we are going to be one of the first ones in line to get some of that money to bring these homes down. As far as revenue, you're seeing some things happening in Maple Heights, some positive things. If you look at Southgate put up $1.5 million this year in escrow, with another $1.5 million next year in escrow. To do what? This year they painted the entire canopy from one end to the other. They resurfaced parking lot after parking lot. They put new fascia up on many of their stores. They have a grand plan to bring Southgate back. They have new tenants that moved in. There's talk, and I can thank Councilwoman Agee, and I give her full credit for this, for being on the job and on the ball and getting them to come into the city and help establish communication with us. The McDonald's on Northfield Road is seriously looking at relocating inside of Southgate on an out parcel. They are negotiating with big box retailers to come into Southgate, and they're very close to signing one in particular. It's going to happen, but it takes time. This is the first serious owner that Southgate has had in years. in years. We all know that. We've seen the empty storefronts for years. It's finally happening. The law department is opening renegotiations with Clear Channel Outdoor Billboard Company to sell them a parcel of city-owned land so they can advertise with a digital billboard on the corner of Southgate Park Boulevard and Warrensville Center Road. You know, we know that we're not going to get any revenue that we had counted on in the past from the levy issues. We have to look at other opportunities. You know, rewriting or renegotiating leases on cell towers. Anything we can do, we are doing. I heard leaves tonight. The service department is still picking up leaves. Even through the snow, they have been out there yesterday and today where they can see visible piles. They are still committed to picking these leaves up, and they will get them up. Every year we have the same problem. It snows before all the leaves get picked up. As soon as it thaws, which I believe Sunday and Monday it's going to be in the 50s, we'll probably be able to finish up next week. But we are going to get all the leaves that we can. The police chief asked me if I would mention an event. He forgot to in his report. Tomorrow at the Cleveland Marriott on Harvard and Richmond Road, Warrensville Heights, from 5 to 8 p.m. there is an event. It's a fundraiser, I believe. Is that right, Chief? Called the Mocktail, which is a non-alcoholic beverage event. Yes?
That's correct.
Did I get it right?
Yes. It's sponsored by the OBA Task Force. Our department participates in it, and we'd like to go out there and try some non-alcoholic drinks for the holidays. Please feel free to stop.
Lastly, you know, a lot of the talk tonight on the senior center, the decision to the question from the gentleman, no, you know, the decision has not been made, not by me or anyone else. We are looking at some options. There is a fund in our budget where we were receiving some money, some funds from Norfolk Southern Railroad. We found out today that yes, indeed, that is our money. There's almost $118,000 or $20,000 in change. And on Monday night, I asked City Council to consider transferring that money to keep this center open and going. Because the provisional ballots, which will be counted, and through the grace of God and a little luck, you know, that 45 votes, or whatever it was, 44, 45 votes, can get turned around. And that will, at least, if that money is transferred, will get us through this year. Help get us through this year. We know we're going to have to make other cuts in some other areas. But I think most of us up here are committed to keeping this center open. I don't consider the programs that go on here to be social or welfare, as I've been reading on the internet. That's just wrong. You know, that's plain wrong. If people need help, help them. You know, if they need to eat, and we have the ability to provide them a meal, then get it to them, or get them in here so they can eat it. That might be the only good meal they get that day. Or if they need to go to dialysis. You know, I wasn't really sure what dialysis was. Again, excuse my ignorance, but a close friend of mine just started on it. And when he explained it to me, now I have a clear understanding of what it is and how life-saving it is. These are things that are very important. You know, the comment that was made earlier about road salt. You know, we've been fighting a battle with road salt for years. This, again, is nothing new here in Maple Heights. Again, the word nonsense was used. Last year we had a really bad problem with road salt. You want to know why? Because we couldn't get it. Nobody could get it. Because the companies that supplied it were hoarding it. And then lawsuits were filed, and you know, damages were paid, claims were made. We had a heck of a time last year getting road salt. The same thing with a few years before that. There were communities that were cutting their salt with sand in a gravel, a pebble, because they didn't have enough salt. you know, we're Greater Clevelanders. We know how to drive in the snow. We know how to drive on ice and through slush. We know how to do that. You know, we're not going to always be out there as soon as this first snowflake hits, but we're out there. We're getting there.
That's right.
Last week, the calls again that came in about the snow removal, first snow. Every city I went to see how they compared to Maple Heights. I went to Garfield, was just as bad. Bedford Heights. I went through Warrensville Heights, which in my opinion was worse than Maple Heights. You know where I found wet pavement, curb to curb? Beechwood. Beechwood. They have everything salted there, everything. Why? Because they got lots of money. And they got a lot more trucks and employees to drive them than we do. But we got everything opened up. We got it plowed and salted. It took a little longer, but our drivers have well over 100 years in plowing and salting snow. All of them collectively put together. They know what they're doing. We don't need to be on bridges or calling them or texting them, telling them, hey, calling up City Hall, there's ice over here. We know that. We know that. Our police are out on patrol. They radio in, they call it. They tell the service department, you have an ice problem on a bridge. Get out there and take care of it. And we do. There was a misunderstanding about the Rockside Road Bridge, the bridge, I'm talking about the bridge itself, not what's below it, not what's on each side of it, whether that's north, south, east, west. The bridge itself is in Bedford. That's not Maple Heights, that's Bedford. But there were complaints against us that we didn't take care of that bridge. Well, you know what, it's not our bridge. So we're not going to salt somebody else's bridge. Unless they are really up against it, and we have helped Bedford out. We just let them use our aerial bucket truck about a month ago, and they will return the favor down the road. So yes, we do get along and help our neighbors, but you know, they take care of their bridge just like we take care of ours. With that, I'd like to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. Eat lots of turkey, watch lots of football, relax. To my colleagues on City Council and the administration, rest up, because we're going to be right back here the first week of December, hashing this all out. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.